Hi, my name is Tito, Sufesa Certified Master Technician, and today we'll be going through the steps on a pump motor replacement kit on a Perlick H50 ice maker. The first thing you're going to want to do is power off the unit by pressing the button here or toggling it, whichever you have, and then also unplugging the unit to make sure everything is safe. After that, you're going to want to remove the front panel, and then following that, we'll remove the louver. The front louver will come off, removing these two Phillips head screws. And that will give us access to our control panel. The next thing we'll want to do is get access to the control board by removing the cover here. You can also remove the hardware, mounting the control board down to the unit itself for better access. Next, we're going to want to locate the A1 terminal, which is your incoming power, and that should be located on this side of the board. After that, we're going to connect our inline fuse, female end going into the control board, and the male end connecting to the wire that was previously connected to the A1. On the back side of the front panel that we just removed, you'll find a wiring diagram with the previous wiring on there. With your kit, you should receive 3 stickers that you would use to cover it. Make sure you use the serial number and match the correct wiring diagram to cover the current sticker with the new wiring. Next, we're going to want to remove the suction tube here by twisting on these tabs, pulling out, and then your slope bin here will have 2 tabs, one on the right side, one on the left. You pull out and slide back, your tabs being right here and right here. Next, we'll want to remove the drain hose by squeezing and pulling down on the silicone connector. Then we'll remove the pump motor housing. You should have a Phillips head screw mounting it onto the unit. And then you can pull it right out. And now you should have access to your pump motor. When removing the pump motor, you will find a tab that's located right here. You're going to have to push up on that tab as you're pulling the motor out. Now, it may have some calcium buildup on there. You may have to finesse it out a little bit, but it should slide right out. Next thing we'll do is remove the door by loosening the bottom hinge pin, which is threaded. Once you get that a little bit loose, you can push up towards the top hinge pin, pivot outwards, and then pull down to release it from the top hinge pin. After that, you'll want to remove any hardware holding the top panel onto the unit. We've already removed the screw here, here, and here, and then we should be able to lift up. At this point, we'll want to disconnect our motor. There should be a tab right here that you can push down on, and it'll unlock your wiring harness. You want to fish the wiring down and pull your motor out. Next, you'll want to install your new motor by pushing it through the same channels it was previously installed in. And just fishing your wiring right up through the same path that you pulled it out from. At this point, we'll want to remove the back pipe cover. I've already removed some of the screws to make this video a little easier. Removing this cover will give us access to all the wiring, but we'll have to do our next steps. Next, we'll want to get our wiring harness that was provided with the kit. Using this harness piece to connect to your motor, and the other piece connecting to the side that goes to the control board. And you'll have 2 red wires that are left over Included with the kit is a capacitor. You're going to want to use your self-tapper that comes with the kit to drill a hole there and mount the capacitor here. You want to make sure not to pinch any wires while you're over here, and make sure the capacitor is oriented correctly with the screw on the right hand side of the capacitor. You can remove the strain relief to give yourself access. And there's a pre-drilled hole right here where you can mount your ground wire. Once you've secured everything, you can go ahead and get the strain relief and put it back on. Next, we'll want to clean up these wires to make sure nothing gets pinched or in the way. And you should have some zip ties that come with your kit. Make sure to clean off your tag end. And you should be ready to put your covers back on. After you've mounted your motor and fished your wires up, reconnected everything, you're going to want to grab your hose here and reconnect it to the motor, ensuring that it properly goes in and doesn't create any leaks for you. Then you'll want to grab your pump motor housing and slide that right in, and you should have your Phillips screw back here where you can reconnect it to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Once that's snug and in place, you can reconnect your drain hose, and you're going to want to get your tray and mount it right back to where it was previously, with your drain facing to the left, and then you'll reconnect your tubing over here as well. And then we're going to want to cover up our control board, making sure none of the wires that we installed get pinched or do not get pinched by this control cover. And then reattaching the screw onto the cover. Next, we'll reconnect the louver. And then we'll move on to the front cover, making sure these tabs fit right into the slits right here.